By all accounts, Cord Meyer IV, who just went by Cord Meyer, pictured here with his wife, Mary Pinchot Meyer, was brilliant and courageous. A war hero, in fact. In 1942, he graduated from Yale University with a bachelor's degree in English. He graduated magna cum laude. He was the editor of their publication Yale Lit, and he was a member of their society, the Scroll and Key, which is one of the elite groups that is often associated with elite grooming, similar to Skull and Bones. Upon graduating from Yale in 1942, Cord entered the United States Marine Corps as a second lieutenant, and he saw combat on Guam and Okinawa. He was injured in both locations. In one of the locations, he lost his left eye. I feel like it's unfortunate that Cord ended up having to get dragged into the vast amount of evil and violence that was World War II, because he didn't need to be a war hero. He was already legacy elite. He was set for life. Cord Meyer was Episcopalian of patrician New England class, and his father, Cord Meyer III, was also legacy Yale, legacy wealth, and was a major real estate developer in Queens. His grandfather was a heavy-hitting financier and bank manager in the New York City area. Cord Meyer II was also a leading figure in the Continental National Bank, and upon its merger with the Hanover National Bank, he sat on its board of directors. He also played an active part as a director in the merging of the Colonial Trust Company and the Trust Company of America. During the Panic of 1907, he participated in the conference at J.P. Morgan's library. After World War II, Cord Meyer IV became a founder and leader of United World Federalists, and he advocated for world governance. That was through 1949, but from 1949 to 1952, he was attached to the U.S. mission at the United Nations in New York. In 1951, he was actually recruited by Frank Wisner to join the CIA's Office of Policy Coordination, which is their covert action arm that ran propaganda, media, and psychological warfare. Cord and Mary Pinchot Meyer divorced in 1958, and she retained the name Mary Pinchot Meyer. She was also a legacy socialite in her own right, and she started to allegedly enjoy the occasional acid trip and allegedly start an affair with John F. Kennedy. On October 12, 1964, along the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal towpath near Georgetown, where Mary Pinchot Meyer often took walks, her body was found murdered. She had a bullet wound to the temple and to the neck, and the medical examiner said it was close range, like execution style, and whoever shot her was an expert in firearms. A short black man by the last name of Crump was found, arrested, and named in a radio broadcast within about 45 minutes. But because Mary Pinchot Meyer didn't have her ID on her, it took about 3 more hours for a relative to come to the station and identify her. A .38 revolver was found in 2 days in the river. Ray Crump Jr. was held for about 8 months until his trial, and the prosecution withheld a ton of exculpatory evidence. His prints weren't on the gun. Mary Pinchot Meyer's blood was not on his clothes. His hands didn't have any gunfire residue. The gun did not match ballistics to Mary Pinchot Meyer. There were witness contradictions. In addition to all this, Mary Pinchot Meyer kept a diary, and after she was shot and killed, the CIA's counterintelligence chief at that time, James Jesus Angleton, wasted no time searching her apartment for that diary. Also, entering and searching her apartment was her sister, Tony Bradley, who was married to the editor-in-chief of the Washington Post, Ben Bradley. Angleton and Tony Bradley both claimed that Angleton found the diary and destroyed it. Supposedly he burned it, but supposedly he kept a few of the pages. He pulled them out before the fire destroyed the entire diary. And he claimed that it contained notes about her LSD experiments and her affair with JFK. Despite Ray Crump Jr. being acquitted July of 1965 and Mary Pinchot Meyer's murder being unsolved to this day, the prosecution and the press would continue for some time to infer that the most likely subject or suspect was Crump Jr. because during all of this, he had become hostile. In Cord Meyer's 1980 memoir titled Facing Reality from World Federalism to the CIA, he wrote, "I was satisfied by the conclusions of the police investigation that Mary had been the victim of a sexually motivated assault by a single individual and that she had been killed in her struggle to escape." In an interview shortly before his death, when asked who he thought killed his wife, he said, "The same sons of bitches who killed JFK." Perhaps the moral of the story is that even if one is a war hero, born of legacy, wealth, and influence, there's always the dirty little sister that can wreck one's life.